Hey, hi. It's been a while. So yeah, today we're going to talk about some really good stocks where has quite a lot of potential. And one of them I would say is Google. Let's talk about Google today. There's been quite a bit of bad negative press that's been going on since this year, with the emergence of ChatGPT and all that, and then Bard, which is the equivalent of the Google ChatGPT, has gotten some answers wrong and all that, and so it's slightly kind of behind in terms of the popularity to ChatGPT, but I believe that actually Google Bard, BRD, which is coming back. There's been also, of course, cloud. Google has a existing strong crowd of customers, and it's quite easy for them to incorporate their Google AI, i.e. Palm, build generative AI and all that research in their existing Google Excel or Google Sheets, and things like Google Cloud and all that, as well as YouTube. So other than the AI play aside, which is has been the talk of the year this month in 2023, with most of the mega seven, invisible seven, that has bring up the stock market quite a lot, whereas the other sectors or other categories of companies are still in the red. So the market is not frothy at all. It's been brought up by just selected few. So I share with you some companies that are some investors that are actually buying Google right now, i.e. the famous Bill Ackman. He's from the Persian Square, and he has been holding only one mega 7 stocks, which is on AI, which is Google, and he doesn't own Apple or this Nvidia or Facebook, Meta, or even companies like Microsoft. So basically, Bard uses Google newest language model, which is Palm. ChatGPT uses the GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 technology available in the paid version. Take note that this is actually partly owned by Microsoft, who is an investor, but created more chunks of information, while ChatGPT creates content in a single text prompt. So the next catalyst that is pretty good for Google is definitely their self-driving car. Of course, they have been under the radar for quite some time. Ford has their own self-driving car technology as well. They have been under the radar is because Tesla has been taking up the FSD, full self-driving headlines most of the time in all those mainstream media like CNBC and Bloomberg and all that. But Waymo is actually doing well. He got his first license for selfless driving robotaxi in California already, and is partnering up with Uber. Waymo is not just Google is not just an investor, but they own about 90% of Waymo, and it seems that it's doing well. And of course, they all use Google Play as well, which is also a very important software that Google derive income from. Any downloads that you use, or any money you pay to all the different apps, Google takes a 25 to 30% money payments. So in 2020, Waymo raises 2.25 billion at a valuation of 30 billion. Before that, all the funding came from Alphabet, so that we could assume that it has full ownership of Waymo. At a 30 billion valuation, this could imply that company Buzz gave up 7.5% of its stakes in Waymo, leaving Google with 92.5% ownership, which is a lot. So as you can see, Google have a lot of baskets of businesses, from the potential of AI adding to their revenues, as well as income, potential of their YouTube videos that are doing really well, increase in viewerships and all that, and their YouTube videos, subscriber-based income, and their Google Cloud also start to make money as well. And then you got this other business, which is the selfless driving thing as well. Waymo and Uber partners to bring Waymo's autonomous driving technology to Uber platform in San Francisco. They have already started. So I'm going to put this link for you to read further on this very interesting article. Then continue on backtrack a bit on what I just said earlier. Very interesting investor of all time, Bill Ackman. He bought first quarter of 2023 2.2 billion shares, which is worth around, let's say, 100, which is 2 billion, 200 over million of shares. So which is quite a lot, and also he additionally bought 1.3 million, so that's another 130 million. So basically you're talking about nearly 350 million worth of US dollar shares in this short span of 1 year. So that's a lot of loading for Bill Ackman's portfolio. Then what else I think is interesting? Google, actually the stocks was smashed down at US dollar 90. Now it's actually very steady at 137, 38, 135 range. Of course, the last couple of days has been pretty quiet for rate days for many stocks, especially the Mega 7, especially Apple as well. With all this China government sanctioning the usage of iPhones and earbuds. The iPhone buds, for China government officials. But Alphabet has been holding up very well, and so this is what you call about the shares that they bought. In additional 1.3 million, 8 million shares. So it's a lot. So Pershing Square's position in technology giant now tops 1.5 billion, which is a lot. Makes up 13% of their fund portfolio. So I'll put this link for you. Then the next catalyst I want to talk about is the YouTube TV. YouTube TV is still very underrated in this streaming consolidation period era happening right now. With linear TV and streaming TV, kind of like doing major consolidation. You can see Disney have a lot of those traditional TV networks which they are intending to dispose or turn into streaming services, and they have the issue with Charter Network, which is the linear TV provider for payments and all that, and also cutting off their ESPN, and Disney starting out ESPN bets and all that on streaming. So there's a lot of changes, and Paramount maybe an acquisition target, MGM taken over by Amazon Prime. So you will see a few players in the future only, in these streaming businesses. So YouTube video may be one of them. And then YouTube TV reaches an agreement with Warner Brothers to stream all the HBO TV and all that, which is very interesting. So so basically Warner Brothers' new streaming services, HBO Max, is coming, but it's also available on YouTube TV. So Warner Brothers' new TV streaming service, HBO Max, coming to YouTube TV along with HBO and Cinemax. So you get 3 different areas you can watch HBO, Warner Media's movies, like those amazing, those Superman is not, I think that's under another company. Yeah, so then let's talk about the share buybacks. Share buybacks very important. Now Google has a market cap about 1.8 trillion. So 70 billion is around like 5% of their market cap, which is good, which means that if they buy 5%, that means the share price should increase by 5% organically, even assuming that profit is flat and potential forecast is also flat. So this is Alphabet's Google. There's a Class A shares and there's a Class C shares. Just that one has voting rights and the other one doesn't. So if you look at the counter, it has gone up. It has hit a low of 94. Has gone up by 34%. Of course, it has not gone up as much as Nvidia, Meta, and all that. It is probably in a similar percentage compared between Microsoft and Apple and all that. So at 1.75 trillion, while Apple is already near to 3 trillion, we believe that Alphabet has at least another 25% to 30% upside. So what else is important that I want to talk about? Yeah, of course, this is another one current negative press that's happening now. Justice Department in Alphabet in Europe, trying to ask them to break up their businesses and all that, and I don't think this will happen. It always European judiciary and always wanted to come up with crazy stuff, and they wanted to fine the company. And nothing more than that. So I don't see anything worrying about this. And let's see what other charts I have. Okay, let's talk about the earnings. And I like this particular chart. Their earnings has been going up. Q1 2023. So it's a good progress. They beat analyst estimates as well, which is very interesting. And let's look at the yearly net income. Of course, they hit the highest before at 76. Prior to that, they were always at 12, 19, 20. So I think this is where when they pass the 34 billion per year, and income is actually at 2019 onwards. So if you look at Google share chart, right, 2029, look at the last 5 years. 2029 was around, let's say, like 54. So now it has gone more like 200%. So but if you look at their profits, they should easily double as well. In 2023, I don't see why it can't hit the near 75 to 80 billion. It could hit its best annual net income this year. If you look at these 2 quarters, which is coming up to 33 already. So if they do another 40, which is 73, another 40 billion, you get about 73 billion. And I don't see why in the second quarter, the third and the fourth quarter, Google doing better than expected and hit their first 80 billion profit that he has ever seen. So yeah, I hope you like the video. So these are all the very good catalysts that's happening for Google right now. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video. And yeah, please don't forget to like the video.